Today I'm going to show you how to make banana nut bread and tell you about the chemistry involved. First, it's important you have your hair tied back if you have longer hair like mine, and make sure your hands are clean. First, make sure you have all the ingredients the recipe calls for, which may sometimes vary depending on what the recipe calls for. The recipe I found fortunately only involved 8 ingredients. Flour, baking soda, salt, butter, sugar, eggs, walnuts, and bananas. 50 degrees. Next, grease and flour 2 9x5-inch pans. In a separate bowl, mix together the butter and sugar until smooth. Next, stir in the bananas, eggs, and walnuts until well blended. Next, stir in the bananas, eggs, and walnuts until well blended. Next, pour the wet ingredients with the dry. Next, divide the batter evenly into the 2 loaf pans. Bake for 60 to 70 minutes until a knife inserted into the crown of the loaf comes out. Now while the banana nut bread is baking, I will explain the chemistry involved during this process that is taking place right now. Conduction, the process of movement of energy through matter by the transfer of vibrational energy between atoms and molecules that are in contact with each other, takes place as the banana nut bread is being baked in the oven, meaning the process of it baking itself. A chemical change which takes place when new substances are produced happens when the reactants start out as a combination of liquid-like substances and a few solids and transforms into a complete solid, which is the bread. So this would be liquid to solid change as well. An endothermic change, which is when heat is absorbed, occurs when the bread takes in heat from the oven to form the bread. Convection also takes place in this process. Convection is the transfer of heat energy by the physical motion of masses of fluid. This happens when the fan in the oven circulates the hot air during cooking and pulls away so the moisture is better instead of soggy, and the butter melts so banana nut bread is done. I'm going to make sure that it's fully cooked by sticking the knife into the middle of the pan of the bread. Now let the loaves cool in the pans for at least 5 minutes, then turn onto a cooling rack and cool completely. Wrap in aluminum foil to keep in the moisture. Ideally refrigerate the loaves for 2 hours or more before serving. As you can see, the banana nut bread is finished, and it's important to wait until the day you eat it before you cut it. Now that I showed you how to make banana nut bread and the chemistry involved, you can make it yourself, and you've learned a little bit about the chemistry involved as well.